Hello again, my lovelies, my kittens, my friends, my kids, my fans. It is Wednesday night, just about 8:20 something. My clock does not have numbers and my brain hurts. Anyway, for those of you that knew about it, the trip up to see the Big Bang Theory taping last night, um, the trip itself was a little harrowing. Um, it was especially fun to finally make it to the garage, the Gate 3 garage where they have you park and check in, where the security lady attempted to convince us that it's not actually a 3-hour drive from San Diego, despite the fact that she wasn't in the car with us in the rain and the traffic on the 5. But once we finally made it there, we got into the studio. It was a lot of fun. Now, if any of you are ever going to do a taping at a show, um, other shows may be different. They did say that you should bring a light jacket or a sweater because we tend to keep the studio very cool. It was flippin' hot. They crammed 100 people into a space that ordinarily only 50 would have sat in if they had the option of choosing their seats. They had these little tiny banquet style tables that you see at church halls and banquet halls that you rent out. And the seat on these things were like this wide. And then the legs and then all of the legs were zip tied together so you couldn't scoot away from the other people. So you better be with a big group of people that you're very comfortable with and not have any kind of phobias of touching strangers because you were sardined. Um, we were some of the last people seated. So we missed a little bit of it, but I guess while they were seating all the other people and they were sitting in the studio waiting for the seating to be completely done, they showed the episode that is actually airing next week, featuring brilliant Mr. Stan Lee. So yeah, we missed half that episode. Thank God it's going to be on next week. The taping itself was really kind of interesting in that um, if oddball things are going on in the audience and the actors are still getting touched up and stuff, the rest of the crew will actually stop what they're doing and watch the audience. We actually, at one point in time, were attempting to sing a round of the song Soft Kitty. If you don't watch the show, you're not a fan of Sheldon, you're not going to have any idea what that is, and I'm not going to sing it. Sorry. Um, as far as the cast members went, all of the boys, I would have to say, are much cuter in person. Although Johnny Galecki's pretty cute on the show regularly, so yeah, can't really improve too much on him. Kaylee Cuoco is very much strikes me as that girl that you grew up next door to. She's absolutely adorable on screen. She's absolutely adorable in person. And I did read an article that she has a horse in the valley. And in Southern California, there's so many valleys, I can never be certain. It's too vague of a term. But she does like to go horseback riding. So, yeah. I would love to go horseback riding with her. Probably not going to happen. Anyway, I really kind of wish we could have stayed later. Kunal Nayar. I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm probably butchering your name. Stayed a little bit behind. The rest of the cast kind of seemed to bolt, which I don't blame them. It was tired. I was sleepy. I wanted to go home. I have cat hair on my lip. But he stayed back and he was signing some autographs. Autographs, Jesus. I had a vocabulary when I woke up this morning, I swear. He stayed behind to sign some autographs, and I really was tempted just to run up to the railing and see if he'd sign mine, but they finished I think right at 10:30 and it was still a 3-hour drive home. And I had originally intended to go into work at 6 a.m. this morning, didn't make it till 7. And when I did make it in at 7, I was greeted by the sight of chaos. One of the women I work with, she's one step above me and one step below supervisor, um, she was attempting to take all of these temps who are still in training. We had two temps that just barely finished training and got all of their login information last night, I think. They got thrown to the wolves. They started on phones today. There's two other temps that are still in training that were just answering phones and taking messages. It was all they could do, but we had to have that many people on the phone. There's one girl on our team, all she does is process applications. She's never taken a phone call before. She's never even started the training on it. She got stuck on the phone. So when I got there, she just the one woman just looks at me and says, "Prepare to be slammed." And I'm, crap! I haven't even had breakfast yet. What a week not to have coffee. So it's been thoroughly busy. Last 2 days ago on Monday, we had exactly two people in our Maryland office that were trained to um, take phone calls and were on phones all day long. I heard one of them actually had 45 calls. Today, Maryland was closed. Our Maryland location was completely closed down. For those of you not watching the news, there's a blizzard that just rolled through Northern Virginia, most of Maryland, and the DC area. So we have been horrifically busy. And I found out that I was the only person on one of the four programs I'm assigned to. So I got 5 or 6 calls for that one. There's another program that there's 3 of us that were there today. Still got 4 or 5 calls for that one. And then, of course, my main program. All told, it was still a little bit lighter today than it was on Monday. I only had 32 calls. But I'm up to the point now where I deserve either a steak or a Cabana Boy. Or one of the boys from the Big Bang, whichever. Anyway, um, yeah, I got nothing. I am going to curl up in bed and read for a little bit because I just got into Thunderhead by Douglas Preston Lincoln Child. This is the second or third time I've read it, actually. And attempt to tire myself out enough that I just fall asleep before I do something stupid like trying to stay up and watch Criminal Minds for my Matthew Gray Gubler fix, because apparently I really cannot get enough of the geeky boys that are just absolutely adorable. Anyway, my lovelies, I bid you adieu, farewell, good night, stuff. I think my cat is tearing up the carpet. So, yeah, I will talk to you all again later. Good night.